Hello, happy feast of all Dominican saints. Thank you for tuning into this video, and thank you for your patience because I didn't quite get it recorded before class yesterday. So think back a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the metric system. You were converting between, you're doing metric conversions. Well, in this video we're going to be talking about the customary units of measurement and how to convert between those. So just a really brief review. Whenever we're in the customary units, when we're talking about length, we usually use inch, foot, yard, or miles. For example, here in the United States, when I'm talking about distance, I usually refer to miles. Like I live 10 miles away from OLPH. When we're talking about capacity, we refer to ounces, cups, pints, quarts, or gallons. I think you've seen this when your mother goes grocery shopping. Like, she'll say, I'm going to buy a gallon of milk today. And weight, when we're using weight, we use the units of ounces, pounds, and tons. So here in this chart, I have the units we use, and I also have its equivalents, such as 1 feet is equal to 12 inches, or 1 quart is 2 pints, and so forth. I'm going to expect you to have this chart memorized, so you need to be able to tell me that 3 feet is equal to 1 yard, and so forth. Because you're going to need this whenever you're going to convert between units. So let's just work a couple of examples. Example 1 is convert 10 yards to gallons. Now, there are many ways to go about this, but I'm going to show you the way that in high school your science teachers are going to expect you to know this way. So I want to go from 10 quarts to gallons. The first step is you put what you're starting with first. So I'm starting with 10 quarts. So I'm going to write that down first. 10 quarts. I'm just going to go ahead and use the abbreviation. So I have 10 quarts. Now in order to get from quarts to gallons, I need to multiply by some fraction. Okay? Just got to figure out what. Now, I eventually want my quarts units to cancel out. So because of that, since I have a quarts on top, I'm going to want a quarts in the denominator. And like I said, that way when I multiply, my quarts units will cancel out. I want to end up with gallons, so my gallons is going to be in my numerator. Okay? Since that's what I want to end up with, that goes on top fraction-wise. Now I just need to plug in my numbers. If you look at the chart, it says that 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So my 1 goes with the gallon, my 4 goes with the quarts. Now I just have to multiply. So for the 10 quarts, I'm going to put 10 over 1. I'm going to multiply my numerators and multiply my denominators. 10 times 1 is 10. 1 times 4 is 4. So I'm just left with 10 over 4. Or 10 over 4 gallons. Now this can reduce to 2 2/4 gallons. Well, I'm sorry. I written as a mixed number. It's going to be 2 2/4 gallons. And then this can be further simplified to 2.5 gallons. So 2.5 gallons is my final answer. Let's look at another one. I want to convert 1,000 pounds to tons. So again, I put what I'm starting with first. So 1,000 pounds. Okay. That's what I'm starting with, and I'm going to put that over 1. Now I'm going from pounds to tons, which means that at some point I want my pounds unit to cancel out. So I'm going to put for my second fraction, I'm going to put my pounds on bottom, and then I'm going to put ton on top because that's what I'm trying to get to. I'm going to go from pounds to tons. Now I just have to fill in my numbers. Well, I know that 1 ton, so put the 1 with the ton, is equal to 2,000 pounds. So my 2,000 goes on bottom. Now just multiply my numerators and then multiply my denominators. 1,000 times 1 is just 1,000. 1 times 2,000 is just 2,000. So I have 1,000 over 2,000 tons. However, this reduces. 1,000 over 2,000 is just 1/2. So my final answer is I just have 1/2 of a ton, or half a ton. So that is my final answer. Let's try a tricky one. I want to go from 10.5 pounds to ounces. Okay. Again, I put what I start with first. So I have 10.5 pounds, and I want to get to ounces. So my pounds unit is on top for the first fraction. So because I want my pounds to cancel out, for my second fraction right here, I want my pounds unit on bottom. Put pounds here. I want to end with ounces. I'm going to put ounces on top. Now 16 ounces is equal to 1 pound. So I fill in my numbers. So 16 ounces is equivalent to 1 pound. So now I have 10.5 times 16 over 1. Before I can multiply these two together, I need to write my 10.5 pounds as an improper fraction. Because remember, to multiply fractions, I can't, if I have a mixed number when I'm multiplying, the mixed number has to be turned into an improper fraction first. So I'm going to check in my cash. So 10.5 pounds, so 10 times 2 is 20, plus 1 is 21. It's just 21 over 2 pounds. Okay, so I just took 10.5 and I converted it to an improper fraction. So I'm left with 21 over 2 pounds. So I have 21 over 2 pounds times 16 ounces over 1 pound. Okay, my pounds unit cancel out, and so I'm just left with 21 times 16 over 2 times 1. 21 times 16 is just 336, so 336 ounces. 2 times 1 is just 2, so I have 336 over 2 ounces. 336 over 2 just reduces to 168 ounces. And that is my final answer. So once again, before I could multiply 10.5 times 16 over 1, I converted my 10.5 to an improper fraction, which gets me 21 over 2. And then I multiplied the 21 over 2 times 16 over 1. And then to multiply, just multiply the tops and then multiply the bottoms. My pounds cancel out, and I'm just left with my unit of ounces. Okay, let's try one more very similar to that one. So turn the page. You have example 4 in your notes. So in example 4, we are converting 4.5 pounds to ounces. Once again, I write down my 4.5 pounds first because that's what I'm starting out with. So 4.5 pounds. Now I'm going from pounds to ounces, which means I want to end up with ounces. So my pounds at some point are going to have to cancel out. So I'm going to put my pounds unit on bottom, and then because I want to end with ounces, I'm going to put my ounces on top. Now I just have to fill in my numbers. I know that 16 ounces is equivalent to 1 pound. So I'm going to put 16 over 1. So now I just have to multiply 4.5 times 16. Once again, I have a mixed number here. But in order to multiply a mixed number by a whole number, I need to convert my mixed number to an improper fraction. So I'm going to do that right now. 4.5 as an improper fraction is just 9 over 2. So I have 9 over 2 pounds. My units are still on top, or in the numerator. So I have 9.5 pounds times 16 ounces over 1 pound. Alright, my units of pound cancel out. It cancels out nicely. So now I'm just left with the unit of ounces. So in multiplying the numbers, I am multiplying 16 times 9. 16 times 9 is just 144. So my numerator is 144 ounces over 2 times 1, so 2 times 1 is 2, over 2. 144 over 2 reduces to 72. So let me scoot my paper over really quickly. So my final answer is just 72 ounces. And that is my final answer. Keep in mind how I'm showing my units. Even when I converted my improper fraction to, even when I converted my mixed number to an improper fraction, I still kept my pounds unit in the numerator, so that way it would cancel out with my pounds unit in the denominator. So when you're writing that out, be careful of that. You have 2 practice problems to try on your own, and I will see you Monday. God bless you and have a good long weekend.